Hello everyone and welcome. Now today's video is part 2 of yesterday's video. I had deleted the unboxing video from Love from Lizzie and my card making, and so yesterday I redid the unboxing and I showed the card, which is laying off to the left there, that I made during my first unboxing video that I lost. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to take the stamp set on this particular card and we're going to represent it. And so I'm going to stamp it up, heat emboss it, color it, and then we will come back and put together a card. Now, I will speed all this up because it does take quite a bit to do that, but hang in there because we are going to make a Funfold with this card, and it's a really neat one. So I want you to follow to the end so you can check out the Funfold card that we make and see how it comes together. So I'm just choosing some of the larger stamp images to lay down here on this white piece of hammer mill 110-pound cardstock, and we'll just do some stamping. And actually that is not hammermill. That is the white that came in the kit. I forgot I had used that for that. So that is the actual white cardstock that came in the kit, and I cut it down. So what I've got here is I have got the crystal slipper, I've got the pillow, the crown, and the pumpkin. And we're going to stamp them out with some VersaFine Clair ink. And I actually used the black ink to stamp this out, and then I went ahead and heat embossed, and I used the Gold Crown embossing powder from Love from Lizzie. I've never stamped in black and used a colored embossing powder, I don't think. I usually use clear, but I thought, well, I'm going to give it a try and see how it goes, and it works out just fine. So I'm going to give it a couple good presses. These are new stamps that I've not used yet. And then we'll bring in the embossing powder and the embossing tool, and we'll speed things up and emboss it, and we're going to color. And so I'm not a colorist, and so speeding the coloring up just made sense to me, because you're not really going to get a coloring tutorial from me, because I don't consider myself to be a expert on coloring, so I'll just do the best I can. We're going to use some tri-blend markers from Spectrum Noir, and we'll do some coloring on there, and I think we get decent results, but you can check it out and see what you think. So here I've got, oh, actually I'm using my Altenew. I love the Altenew markers, and this is just a 4-pack that I have, and these make coloring easy because you've got 4 colors that just blend together very well effortlessly. And so I'm just going to lay some color down on here. I'll try to remember to link them in the description box below. I've got probably five or six sets of these 4 blend markers, and I love them. The brush on them is just super smooth, and it works very well as far as helping you to color. I need all the help I can get. Like I said, I'm not an expert colorist, but I always feel like I can get good results with these particular markers. I'm limited on my color sets. I think I've got brown, green, pink, red, and some teal blues is what I have. I need to get some more of these. I was buying them there for a while. Every time they'd go on sale, I'd buy a new pack, but I haven't done that in a while. So anyway, I'm going to get this stamp set from Love from Lizzie colored in, and we're going to use these images on our card. Now, of course, if you saw the unboxing, there's ephemera and there's pattern paper that's just gorgeous, and all kinds of little fun elements and bits and pieces that come in your embellishment bag. And we're going to bring some of those things into our card making today. There's some fun specialty pieces, panels that we're going to use, and it'll just be fun. So now I'm going to just fussy cut them out, and so I've left all this speeded up because this stuff takes time, and you guys don't, I think, really want to set and through like, a 45-minute coloring and fussy cutting tutorial here, especially when I'm not really teaching you techniques or whatever on coloring, because like I said, that's not really my forte. It's fun, I enjoyed it, it's relaxing, but there are a lot of better colorists out there if you really want to learn to color. So I've got my crown and I've got my crystal slipper. I'm going to get my little pillow fussy cut out, and then we'll move on to the pumpkin. And I went with just the same colors for all of them. I thought it would be fun. We are having a lovely day. In fact, I sat out on the patio for a long time, just relaxing and enjoying the outdoors and the sunshine and just the wonderful weather. And I thought, man, I need to get up and get moving around because I was getting kind of sleepy. So I got up and got some things done around the house. And then I thought, oh, I've got this video that I need to get the voiceover done on. So I thought I'd get that done real quick because tomorrow the boys will be back. And, I'm hard-pressed to get anything done when they're there, especially a voiceover because they're so, playing and having so much fun and making so much noise. It makes it hard to do a voiceover with that. So here it is, and we've got that gold embossing powder on there, and it makes it look very regal. Now this is our Funfold. Now this part's really simple. We're just scoring at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8, and it's going to be a Z-fold. And so I'm going to give it a good press. I'm having to move away from the window because my husband has got either the weed eater or the blower out, and it's making a lot of noise. So I'm moving, so if the sound changes. So I've just done a regular Z-fold card, and what I'm going to bring is 4 1/8 by 5 7/8, I think. I'm trying to look at my measurements. I wrote them on the back. 4 1/8 and 5 5/8 is what I've got there. And I'm just going to lay it down on there. We're going to have just a nice little frame. And this is still the decorative part of our card. So we're going to bring in this specialty rose glitter cardstock, and we're going to 4 5 1/4 with this patterned paper. And this is some of the classic slipper patterned paper that's included in the June 2025 card kit from Love from Lizi, which I will link in the description box below. But the inside of the card there, this is 2 by 5 3/8, I believe. And then we're going to just layer it down, and we're going to use the same pattern that I cut away from it. And I'm going to grab the other one so I can see what size it is. It's 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, I believe. I should get my measurements in front of me. And there we go. And so our pattern flows. Now this outside panel, I'm going to use a different pattern on because I had a strip left from the card that I had made on yesterday's video. And we're going to get this laid down on there and finish off the panel. So that inside panel is still going to be a decorative element. So we'll add a panel to the back of that where we can write our message to the recipient. And so far we've just got a straight Z-fold card, but now we're going to bring in these triangles, and we're going to use 2 of them on the front, 1 in the middle, and we're going to create a little hinge for it. And this is some of that mermaid shimmer, like a faux leather, and it's included in the kit, and it's just got all of this shine, and it really sparkles when you get it laid down on the card. I've got a little rough edge there I'm trimming off, and we're going to layer these up. And I think these are 1 7/8 inch squares is what you start with, and then you go, a 1/4 of an inch down from there. So I think you'd go to 1 3/4 inch square. And we're just layering those up. And we're going to bring in this strip that is 2 by 5, and we're going to score it at, I'm showing you it's 2 by 5, and we're going to score it at 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And this is going to be our hinge element for our center square. And we're going to snip an 1/18 or a 1/16 of an inch off of that, and that'll just give us a little room to fold it in and kind of nestle it into our corner there. And then it'll just fold like that when you want to fold your card closed. So I'm going to start off with putting my squares on the diagonal on the front cover first, and then that will help me to identify how to line up my inside one. So we'll just add some glue on half of it, and I'll get it on half of this knowing that I do it, and then I go hog wild on the next one, and I put glue on the whole square, and so I'll have to clean it up. And here we go, I'm getting crazy. And then I'm like, oh no, I don't need that. I immediately wipe it off. You don't need it there. Wipe my hand off. I've got a towel off to the side there, and then we'll get it lined up and get it laid down on there. I had some glue on my fingers, so I'll clean it off. Gonna wipe my hands again. And now we are ready to insert this little hinge in here. And so I'm gonna get it, figure out where I want it, get it positioned. I'm gonna glue it down. I think I just glue it, and I should have used some tape on this. I will get smart and add some tape to the other elements, but I'm gonna give it a good press, and it'll be fine. So I'm gonna lay some glue down on here. And I really should have used some double-sided tape and glue. I'm gonna have to move again. Okay, so my husband's mowing all around the house, so I moved from one room to the next, and then he's in there. I only had one window open, but it was still, I thought it was quite loud. I don't know if you'll notice it at all or not, but I'm using these magnets just to kind of give them a good press, and then I decided I'll use my bone folder and press it even more. Now, what I don't show you, and you need to do, is that other side that is up against the inside card base there on the left. You need to glue it to the front of the card base, and then that will drag it back out once you've pressed it down to close it. And I won't show that until I think after the video gets done. I realize, oh, you never did glue that down. So you're going to want to glue that left side of the box up to the left side card panel, and then it'll drag that box back when you open the card up, and then it'll just pop right up. So I didn't do that, and I should have. So do as I say, not as I do. So that's where I'm kind of looking at how it works. But if you glue it to that front panel, it'll pick it up and lay it down as you go. So I've got these three elements, and I'm actually wondering where my pumpkin is. There it is. Okay, and so now we've got all of our pieces, and my goal was to just showcase these pieces on this card as part of the stamp set, because I did use some of the ephemera on the last video, and I thought I would showcase the stamp set on this video. And so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to showcase these stamp pieces, the elements. And I'm using, this is where I got smart and decided to bring in the double-sided tape and to use the double-sided tape and the glue to it. So we'll get some glue on there, and then we'll get a nice adherence. That faux leather or mermaid, holographic mermaid, it's a little bit, there's a little slickness to it. So the tape gives you the immediate hold, and then the glue obviously will give you the long-term hold. So that's why I'm choosing to do that. Just cleaning up a little bit of tape that was underneath the heel of the shoe, and we're going to just stack it on there. And I'm still fussing with that, and I'm not thinking, well, if you would have glued it down, it would be opening and closing correctly. So we're going to get the pumpkin and get it laid down on there, and then we'll put our crown on the bottom, and we'll have all of our elements in there like we want them. And I liked, you know, the pink pumpkin, and I liked, you know, having everything in the same color. It doesn't bother me that I've made a pink pumpkin. I think it's just fine. And we'll just kind of cock the crown there a little bit sideways, and we've got all of our elements laid down in there. This is where I'm going to show you. We're going to decorate the back panel for our message, where we can write our message on there. And I'm just going to cut this down, just cut some pink down to where we'll have a little bit of a white edge around there. And then you could easily write your message on this panel here on the back of your card. And then your recipient would have a card that they could stand up, like on the mantle or the table or whatever, and it will stand up on its own. And there I'm still messing with it. And so there we go. So put some glue on that back side of that, and you're not going to have it sticking up like that. Why it took me so long to realize that I had not glued it and that was my problem is beyond me. But anyway, so I've got my sentiment, and I'm going to get it stamped out. I had to go find some paper that I could stamp it on, and I grabbed this Love from Lizi die, and I'm going to stamp it down, and I think I wind up stamping it 3 or 4 times until I get a impression that I like, because it is a new stamp. And I'm doing a dream is a wish your heart can make, or something like that. I think is what the sentiment said. A dream is a wish your heart makes. And we're going to get it die cut out. And I that was the second stamping, and I didn't like it. The first one was too light, the second one was too heavy, and so the third one was just right. It's like the 3 bears. It took me 3 chances to get get it how I wanted it. And so the scrap that I grabbed wasn't big enough for this die, and so I'm just going to let it hang off the edge. I'm going to tape it down, and then I'm going to, I think I'll wind up fishtailing it, so we'll get it ready to go. So here we have it, and we'll just get it laid down on our card base. I'm going to tuck it in here so you won't be able to see it from the front side, and we'll just get it positioned, and there we have it. And I think it's a fun, pretty card, and it works even better when you glue the other side down. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye now.